Namaskar. Welcome to Vision of Asia Voice of Community. I'm Ashok Vyas. This Sunday, lot of joy as we embrace a new month. Yes, 1st August has begun, and with 1st August, while we have lot of festivities on our mind, there are some concerns also which are walking with us, and one of them relates to Delta variant. We'll have Democratic nominee Mayor Eric Adams talking to Aditi Lamba on this as well as other issues. In today's Vision of Asia, we have This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, where we talk about Indo-China relationship and several other important themes, including the impact of Delta variant. There is going to be an important festival, Ganesh Utsav, and a curtain raiser to share details about this 4th Ganesh Utsav was held at Gujarati Samaj. A report from that, part of conversation about healthy habits and wealthy habits with CEO of JPR Capital, Nain Kisnadwala, and CEO and founder of Kanj, Karnika Kisnadwala. We also take you to a press conference where we hear about India Day Parade at Hicksville on 8th August, and then again few details about potential impact of Delta variant on children and how opening school is safe or not by Dr. Naveen Mehrotra. So all this coming up right after these short messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to Vision of Asia, a voice of community. While we have congratulated Democratic nominee Eric Adams for his success, he took some time out and talked to Aditi Lamba for ITV Gold. Among various issues that were discussed, one also included the changing guidelines for wearing masks in the face of potential danger posed by Delta covariant.
The CDC has updated its guidelines for masks. They're saying that in unvaccinated areas or areas where these cases are going up, they are saying they're recommending masks to be worn indoors. They also went ahead and said that when schools open up, they recommend masks for students, teachers, and anybody working there, regardless of their vaccination status. So my first question to you is, how will you handle this new guidance in Brooklyn Borough? And will you be bringing back mask mandates if needed?
Well, I believe, and I will continue to say, we should follow the science. It's important to look at our amazing, those who flow with information, such as the CDC and your local Department of Health and mental hygiene, like we have here in New York City in the State Department of Health. The combined information that, number one, on the federal level, and then number two, on the local level. Every local municipality should go as more stringent than the CDC if they see the need. I believe I'm going to wear my mask as much as possible in abundance of caution, and I will encourage other New Yorkers to do the same.
Right. You know, we are hearing in projections such as we may see again 4,000 deaths per day. If this kind of stuff happens, Borough President, I have to ask you, are there any talks of shutdown right now?
No, that is not part of the conversation right now. And what we are learning now is that, number one, let's be clear, COVID is a formidable opponent. It has shown many different strands, many different forms. There's so much we don't know. And we have to continue to protect and pivot. As COVID pivots and changes, we must pivot. We can't be so compliance to one way of thinking without realizing that this virus is changing, it is altering, and it's doing different things. So we must do the same. And if there's a need, which I don't see that right now, if there's a need to look at modifying some of our behavior, we must be open to do so and understand that. But it appears that we've been doing a great job. We were caught off guard before, but New Yorkers are doing their job and government is doing its job. But we have to vaccinate. We want to continue to encourage people to get the vaccine so that they can get as much protection as possible.
Right. And on these vaccination rates, how are you feeling about the borough as well as New York City? Do you think we've reached enough vaccination, ranges as well? Also, there are a lot of communities of color that are still disproportionately, in fact, affected by vaccine distribution. What do you have to say about that?
We have to be creative and find ways to motivate people to vaccinate. Everything from giving incentives to free Broadway theater tickets to giving away whatever items to just encouraging people based on the health. And then we must get on the ground. I say this over and over again. Right. We should mobilize the census team that we had before, allow them to come back and go to those communities and organizations to encourage people in the language and in the cultural norms that they're used to. And then we must mobilize the credible messengers, our pastors, our Sikh leaders, our imams, our rabbis, all the different groups and organizations, and let them be part of this push to vaccinate based on where people live and how people communicate.
Right. The New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has actually said that public employees must be vaccinated or face weekly testing. This is happening in New York City and California right now. What are your comments on that?
Well, the mayor must make the decision on how to protect and pivot in this city to deal with this virus. I think it's important to also bring in the unions, allow the unions to be part of the conversation because they are the credible messengers for their employees that they represent. And it's always easier when you bring in those who represent the employees to say, here's where we are, give them the information, and come together as a partner. I think that announcement would have gone across rather well if the union leaders were standing with the mayor as he made that announcement.
Right. But again, important to see that there are some steps being taken. I have to ask you about schools opening this fall. We know they're going to open in person. There's no other option. The students have to get back to developing in the schools. What do you have to say about the CDC guideline that recommends masks to be worn in the schools regardless of vaccination? How are you looking at it?
I'm going to follow the science. If we're receiving CDC recommendations that our babies should wear masks in schools for their personal protection and also to avoid the spreading of COVID-19, then let's follow the guidance of the CDC. I know it is uncomfortable, and I know many parents are concerned about their children wearing a mask, but we need to really understand the complexity of COVID-19. We don't have the vaccine for younger children. No vaccines have been approved for younger children. And so let's be as cautious as possible. We know masks are doing a great job in preventing the widespread of COVID. And so it's a simple way to do so. Yes, it's an inconvenience. I don't like wearing it all the time also, but it clearly shows how can we slow down the spread of COVID-19.
Right. I have to ask you, what is your biggest fear with COVID-19? Especially, if you take office in November, what do you think you'll be inheriting?
Well, there's a couple of things that I am concerned about. Number one, I don't want us to go backwards where we saw our city shut down. So I want to do everything as possible not to wait until an emergency state. And then I'm concerned about our children. Not being in school is not only the academic loss, particularly in math, but it's also the socialization. You could only imagine what it is to be out of school, not being able to socialize, being around your friends and colleagues and other young people, sharing information. This was extremely difficult and challenging for our young people. And part of their development of their full personhood is more than just academic, but is also developing who they are, and their characteristics are developed as they learn from other children.
Yes, definitely. Let's now talk about the economy. I have a couple of questions here. We have discussed economic recovery of Brooklyn. At a certain point, you were really happy with how things were going up. Now, with these cases surging, the Delta variant spreading, how are you looking at the economic recovery? And also, what do you have to say about the small businesses which still continue to suffer?
There's so much we must do for the small businesses in this city. And there are several things I believe we can put in place right away. Number one, we must be safe. I say this often, the prerequisite to prosperity is public safety and justice. They go together. And we must have a safe city. We have to deal with the increase in guns and gang violence. I'm happy that the president is handing down much needed financial resources to look at a holistic approach to dealing with guns and gang violence, because if we don't get that under control, we're going to lose tourism, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're going to lose our high-income earners. Their tax dollars pay for the police, the fire, and other parts of our city services. And we're going to really scare new businesses from coming here. So we must become a safe city. Second, we have to stop being an expensive, too difficult and bureaucratic city to do business. It's important that we streamline government so that business can open and not receive the overwhelming number of citations and challenges to get business up and operated. And third, we should look at our procurement. I think it's important that we use the $22.5 billion in procurement dollars. We need to show ways of spending those dollars right here in our city to recycle them instead of outside our city.
In this week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, we pay a lot of attention on Indo-China relationship. Is America maintaining its position as a global leader, or there are some question marks, especially in the light of the recent meeting between China and America? And now time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week. Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I'm delighted to be joined by Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. There's a lot to catch up with you, Dr. Shah. Today, welcome. Namaste.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Dr. Shah, as we are continuing to have the impact of COVID-19 hovering around us, and now we hear that CDC is likely to revise its guidelines regarding mask for those who are vaccinated in America. What can you tell us about this?
Well, I think people, those who are vaccinated, when they go into the large crowd or in indoor environment, it is always advisable to wear the mask, because by doing that, because our vaccination system is an honor system, so you do not know in that crowd or unknown those people around you, they are not known to you, then you don't know whether they are vaccinated or not vaccinated. And therefore, it's always advisable and prudent thing to do to wear the mask whenever you are indoor with the large number of the people gathering. That helps you to transmit the infection from the unvaccinated people to you, or even from vaccinated people to you, and vice versa.
So what you say makes logical sense, but once CDC removed that restriction, people get into the psychology of not wearing it. Probably we'll have to revisit our habit pattern as far as observing this COVID protocol is concerned.
Yes, you are right, absolutely, because it's almost 2 months now since CDC said that if you are vaccinated, there is no need to wear mask. And I think now reversing that, it will be challenging, and it's not that easy. And half of the people will follow, half of the people may not follow, and it's kind of chaos there. And so the best thing to do is they should tell that everyone who, whether they are vaccinated or not vaccinated, when they are indoor, must wear the mask. That's it, period. Rather than worrying about who is vaccinated, who is not unvaccinated, and so forth. At least now, till this Delta variant comes under control and more people get vaccinated.
Absolutely, makes a lot of sense. And it's a similar situation in India. Mumbai reported 343 new cases. Overall, in India, they say that there are 40,000 new cases, which is a cause of concern. And that also makes us look at the earlier announcement or projection about the possibility of third wave. What do you think about India's situation in terms of fighting COVID-19?
I think it's a real concern because in India, the percentage of the vaccination, because of the large population, is only less than 10%. Fully vaccinated people, and therefore it's real concern. And our living condition, our kind of working condition, everything is so crowded, and therefore the chances of getting third wave surge is very, very possible. And therefore everyone has to back home also wear mask, whether they're indoor or outdoor, not to get together in a large crowd, and of course get vaccinated whenever you get chance to get vaccinated.
Absolutely. And now, moving towards center stage America under President Biden, we have continued investigation regarding what happened on 6th January, the attack on Capitol Hill, and there were more hearings. And so, that being one process which probably needs to reach to its concluding space. But at the same time, overall, the trust that people showed for President Biden's leadership seemed to be declining. Overall, his approval rating has gone down. How do you look at President Biden's handling of economy and overall America's global image?
Well, I think overall America global image is still it's question mark, because America, people perceive as America as more nowadays introverted and extroverted in his policy towards the other country. And I think Biden, I mean, they have very grandiose plan, but none of those plans is still getting approved by Congress or Senate. And therefore, I think obviously people are getting kind of impatient, and that may explain the decline of the Biden's popularity.
And of course, this may not have any tangible, probably indication for comparing the impact of President Trump and President Biden. But recently, some of the gatherings that President Biden addressed in support of different candidates, it didn't draw a lot of people. Maybe there were 500 people at some places, or a few places, more than half of the hall was empty. Do you read something more in this kind of response to his physical presence from Americans?
Yeah, I think probably, I mean, you cannot read too much out of it, but depending upon the circumstances. But that shows that even being a president, the people's curiosity, president's personal charm, and ability to deliver thing in reality is diminishing, and I'm afraid that lead to the decline in the popularity.
And now there is another important area which I would like you to share your thoughts on, that is US-China relationship. And as we speak, US Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman just concluded one meeting with her counterparts in China. And Chinese version to this meeting is that there is a stalemate, and US-China relationship is passing through a difficult patch. And there were several comments made by China, including saying that American politicians are making China to appear as an imagined enemy, and they also gave two lists. But overall, in terms of the position of strength of America under President Biden with respect to relationship with China, how do you foresee it?
Well, I mean, relationship between China and USA is very critical and has to be kind of work out, because both are is the largest economy. America is number one, China is number two, and they have a lot of know-how, and therefore they should work out together. Work has to have do the working condition to amiable, because large corporations are at stake, and therefore I think USA should do everything, and China also should do everything to make sure that both works in harmony, and that helps both country equally.
So what you said is the ideal thing, but the way things as appear on ground at the moment, America is in a difficult situation how to respond. While China is very candid in not just criticizing the American stand, but also seeking that America removes the extradition demand for Hawaii CFO Mang Wing Saw. And there are several demands which Americans take for granted that this is how America has always acted. Uh, do you see that America is likely to change its position, because President Biden has criticized strongly America's China's stand on human rights in Hong Kong as well as some other places. So it's a very tough situation. Looks like for America at the moment.
Well, I mean, it looks tough, and then I think America has to, being a superpower and being a leader, America has to work. I mean, talk tough. I think in this case, I think probably what China is perceiving, that President Biden is a weaker president as compared to former president, and therefore I think they are taking advantage of weakness of the president, and this president cannot be go aggressively or more like a bully, what President Trump used to do. And I think China sensed that blood in the water, kind of, and therefore they are acting as a very tough country and tough negotiator. So I think USA has to change their tune, become more aggressive, more tougher, and more blunt and upfront. Because USA doesn't have to lose anything, because they are equally or even more than China in economy and in global influence.
As we conclude, your parting words for our viewers.
Again, dear friends, really, it's our heartfelt congratulations to Mirabai Channu for winning the silver medal for India. Number two, I think still the COVID is around us. Delta variant is surging all over the world, including India. So be careful, get vaccinated, follow the guidelines, and stay wear mask in indoor situation, and don't get crowded, don't involved in the crowded situation. And that's all my suggestion to everyone. And so thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Till then, goodbye. Jai Hind. God bless America. God bless India. God bless Indian American. And God bless everyone. Thank you.
At the auspicious beginning of everything, Lord Ganpati is worshipped, and the form of Lord Ganpati brings a sense of joy, and that blissful celebration, which once was the key celebration of Mumbai alone, has spread in several parts of India as well as America, and now we will have fourth Ganesh Utsav this year also in New York. To share all the details about this upcoming festival, there was a curtain raiser held at Gujarati Samaj. Many important dignitaries participated in it. The key organizer is Suhag Mehta. Here are some highlights from that press conference.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम डॉक्टर जय सरकार है एंड मैं इस साल के इंडिपेंडेंस डे का ग्रैंड मार्शल हूँ। हमारा ये इंडिपेंडेंस डे का परेड हिक्सविल लॉन्ग आइलैंड में हो रहा है 8 अगस्त को, तो उस दिन भी आप लोग सब आइएगा। बट आज हम यहाँ पे हैं फॉर द कर्टन रेजर फॉर द गणेश उत्सव। तो ये गणेश उत्सव होने वाला है सितंबर 15 से 19 में हिलसाइड एवेन्यू में YMCA में है। द एड्रेस है 23602 हिलसाइड एवेन्यू, बेलरोज में है। आप लोग सब लोग आइएगा और पूरा फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली के साथ प्लीज़ जॉइन अस टुगेदर एट द गणेश उत्सव एंड विल सी यू देयर। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Hi everyone, this is Chandrakant Shah. I'm part of core committee of Ganesh Utsav, what we are trying to celebrate, starting from September 15th to September 19th. But before I say something, I want to say something about my Ganesh. गणेश जी आप ही मेरी आस हो, गणेश जी आप ही मेरी प्यास हो, गणेश जी आपसे ही सब सुख मिले, वंदन करूँ बार बार, आपको वंदन करूँ बार बार. So I welcome, I'm inviting each and every one of you for Ganesh Utsav, the fourth largest Ganesh Utsav in New York, starting September 15, September 19.
Good evening everyone and Jai Ganesh. Welcome everyone to fourth biggest Ganesh Utsav of New York. This is Divyesh Tripathi, Program Manager, Gujarati Samaj of New York. And also I'm Assistant Culture Program for Ganesh Utsav of New York. First of all, thank you so much ITV for covering and always supporting us. And also thank you so much to great Suhag Band. Because of him, we bring the Ganesh Utsav here. This is the fourth Ganesh Utsav and we have grand 3 year. We have fantastic, the big grand success of all the 3 Ganesh Utsav. Even the last year or in the pandemic, we continue to do our Ganesh Utsav through the Zoom, and there is so many events. This year also, with the blessing of the Lord Ganesha, thank God, we come back to the life with the precaution and all the follow the guidelines, and we are going to celebrate the fourth Ganesh Utsav.
My name is Harshad Patel and I'm a president of Gujarati Samaj of New York. Today we have a curtain raiser ceremony for fourth biggest Ganesh Utsav in New York. September 15 to September 20, we have a biggest Ganesh Utsav going on at YMCA ground on Hillside Avenue. So this is our fourth excellent program. It is our culture program, so I believe everybody should join.
I want to say thank you to my friend Sudhir Parak. Dr. Parak, doing all this, having the programs continue in a print media, in a tube media, for bringing the message of our culture and other news and keeping East versus West together. And especially today, when Suhagji doing a Ganeshji's events, and in our religion, as we all know, everything good start with Ganeshji, even the blessing. So I like to congratulate to Suhagji doing a good job and continue every year and working hard on this event. So I wish her all the success, and I join to pray for all a well-being while we're going through a tough time, a pandemic. God bless everybody. Peace.
Today we are all here for the fundraising program for Ganesh Utsav. Now, in Indian mythology, Ganesh is a god. We start any function with worship of God. And fortunately, we have such a fine crowd here with a great belief in religion and entertaining Lord Ganesh. So once again, I am thankful to you for giving me the mic and allowing me to say few words. It is my request to all people who are watching and listening that if they can contribute to the cause of fundraising, we will be very grateful. Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Renuka Saha. Today is our fourth Ganesh Curtain Utsav, Curtain Raisers program, and I'm welcoming everybody. And I'm very, very happy. I'm glad everybody's here, and we enjoy. And we're going to have the fantastic fourth Ganesh Utsav. Thank you.
We are celebrating fourth Ganesh Utsav this year, and today is the curtain raiser, and we are here to support Suhag, and I'm a part of the team, and we want all of you to support us, and please do come, and the Ganesh Utsav, fourth Ganesh Utsav will be from September, so we invite all of you to come and be a part of it. It starts from September 4th. जय गणेश।
ITV गोल्ड के सभी दर्शकों को हमारा नमस्कार। आज हम यहाँ गणेश उत्सव के कर्टन रेजर के लिए इकट्ठे हुए हैं और ये बहुत ही खुशी का मौका है कि इतनी विपदा के बाद हमारी प्रार्थना से भगवान ने जो सुनी है, श्री गणेश जी के उत्सव का हम शुभारंभ कर रहे हैं। और हमारी प्रार्थना है श्री गणेश जी की, आप जो विघ्न विनाशक हैं, दुख हरता है, कि सबके दुख हर के इन विपदाओं से हमें छुटकारा दिलवा के सब और खुशी हो। और हम आपका साथ चाहेंगे कि जब ये गणेश उत्सव होता है प्लीज़ हमें ज्वाइन करें, हमारे साथ जुड़ें और गणपति बप्पा का आशीर्वाद लें। धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार सबको, मैं आशा दुआ आज गुजराती समाज में कर्टन रेजर इवेंट फॉर गणपति बाबा मौर्य। गणपति बाबा मौर्य, we are here to celebrate curtain raiser for Ganpati Utsav, which is going to start on September 15th to 19th. Please come and support with your family and friends. To have full fun. There is going to be a lot of singing. There's a lot of shopping, and you can have a Baba's blessing. And please come and enjoy with your family.
Today we are celebrating the curtain raiser of Lord Ganesh Utsav, which will be for 5 days, and it will be in the month of September. I really congratulate Suhag Ben and her committee members for doing a wonderful work, and I really hope them all the best to them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good evening. This is Suhag Mehta, Ganesh Utsav New York founder and president. आज हमारा गणेश उत्सव का कर्टन रेजर है। ये हमारा 4th ईयर है। हम लोग 3 साल से कर रहे हैं, या 4था साल है। और आज करीबन 100 जितने लोग यहाँ पे कर्टन रेजर में आ रहे हैं। और गणपति बापा तो आपको पता है विघ्न हरता है, आपके सब विघ्न दूर करेंगे। सो आप लोग को मेरी इन्विटेशन है, आप लोग आओ और हमारे साथ जुड़ो। थैंक यू वेरी मच, स्पेशल टू द परीक वर्ल्ड मीडिया। सो आज हमारे शो में आके जो भी ये सपोर्ट किया है और हमको जो सपोर्ट कर रहे हो, तो थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू।
Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia, Voice of Community on ITV Gold, and this program comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays at 8 p.m. On Sundays we meet at 11 a.m. with a special weekly edition of Vision of Asia. I am thrilled to be with you this Sunday, and with the request, stay with us. We'll be right back after these short messages. How do you live and how happy you are is related to the kind of habits that has become a part of your way of experiencing life. Healthy habits are also related to wealthy habits, and to share insight about that, we recently had Nayan Kisnadwala and his daughter, who is also CEO of one upcoming company, Karnika Kisnadwala. Here are some excerpts from that conversation. Very few of us consciously pay attention to what is it that is creating our experience. Indeed, grace plays its role, destiny plays its role, but how conscious mind is helping us in bringing out the best and the beautiful in our lives. We'll learn about that, and we will also take the opportunity of seeing it from the point of view of a father and daughter duo. Both are consciously appreciating life in a way which is worth understanding. So I must welcome Karnika Kisnadwala first with claps.
Thank you.
And clapping with me is Nayan Kisnadwala, Nayan Mitra, her father. Most of the time what happens is we define our relationship with fulfilling somebody's expectations, and then we also expect them to respond in certain fashion. Even if it is the expectation that if you are walking in a room and people would smile or respond back, reflect back to your smile, that is also an expectation. Sometimes that doesn't happen because he or she may have something else happening to.
Absolutely. Everyone right now is going through challenges because of the pandemic, and you have to just try to give them a benefit of doubt and be kind at this moment, especially at this moment in humanity. When we are going through so much transition around the world, we need to start becoming kind to everyone around us, and it requires mental discipline to do that. Stopping expectation is just like you do physical exercise. You want to build a muscle, you repeat right in the gym, and then you get your biceps and you get your triceps, etc. Same thing with mental discipline. You have to practice it, and with practice it becomes a habit. And with physical, if you on it, it takes months. With mental discipline, it takes years, and you just need to keep doing it. So it requires time. I'm still on the journey, and I'm still not there yet. But that's my aim for mental discipline, basically.
Let's learn about it from your point of view, Karnika. The same thing. You might have been in situations where later on, either after you interacted with your mother or father, or maybe while you reflected on something that happened, you felt that, oh, I was expecting this from XYZ person, and that made me feel so miserable, and I should try to reduce the level of expectation from this person or in general. Did that come to you?
That had happened many, many times. Me and my parents are very empathetic people. We like to help everyone and go above and beyond, especially me and my dad. So I think I always expected the same from even family members or friends or colleagues, but not everyone is as nice or pure-hearted as you might be. So you should really, and everyone is different, and everyone has been raised different, everyone has gone through different life experiences, so you should not have expectations. I still do have high expectations from a lot of people, but I've decided that I need to lower them because we're all different.
So how to lower expectations is a tough exercise, and it requires a lot of mental work, as you said. In order to do the mental work to have harmonious relationship with yourself in all the circumstances, what are the tips or the ways, that methods that you adopt?
I think so. Physical, we spoke about physical, we spoke about mental, and I think the foundation is the spiritual strength. And when you're strong spiritually, then others follow. And the way to get spiritual strength is yoga, meditation, pranayam. Very, very important. It's in our tradition. It's from the Vedas, and it still applies. And it doesn't take time, nor it does take a master to teach you. Just do it on your own. We have a saying. Guru Ma told me that when you're born with the number of times you take breath, not number of years you're going to live. And so the slower you breathe, the longer you live. And just practicing pranayam prolongs your life and enables you to have a healthy life. Yoga is not just about stretching physically; it's about everything together. And meditation to me is the best, which I try to promote with Karnika all the time. She's not there yet, I hope, I think. But meditation is key. Again, Guru Ma is trying to teach me. I'm not there yet too. I can barely sit. I think they tell me I have adult ADHD. But creating that calmness when I'm painting, for example, I'm in the zone. or when I'm sitting and doing my prayers and meditating, with the Hanuman mantra, breathing in and breathing out, and just slowly doing it. During the pandemic, I conducted a lot of Zoom classes on meditation with friends and relatives who were just facing anxiety, and to me, that's the key.
Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Jai Hind are going to be heard on the streets of Hicksville on 8th August, while India Day Parade would be organized, and what to expect and how many celebrities are also a part of this special parade. There was a press conference held at Mint in Long Island, and here are some excerpts from that press conference. This year, President to organize this parade is Deepak Bansal. Community members joined hand with spirit and enthusiasm to make sure that India is represented with its glory and dignity on the streets of Hicksville for this India Day parade.
इंडिया डे परेड की सभी हमारी तैयारी जो है मुकम्मल हो चुकी हैं. सो वी requesting everyone to join our India Day parade on August 8, which is going to start from Patel Brother at 1 p.m. and going to end up on opposite of Asamai Temple in Hicksville. Please come and enjoy and bring your kids too. We have a lot of performances, stage performances and free games and rides for the kids. So please come and join with us. Thank you.
हाँ नमस्कार, जगदीश सेवानी. बड़े फ़ख्र की बात है कि 8 अगस्त को न्यूयॉर्क में परेड हो रहा है लॉन्ग आइलैंड में. सब लोग आइए 1 बजे. इट्स अ ग्रेट डे फॉर इंडियन अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी and the beginning of 75th anniversary of India's Independence Day. All of us must join and make it a huge success. नमस्कार.
आप सबको मेरा जसबीर जय सिंह का और एंडी भसीन का नमस्कार. और आज हम इंडिया डे परेड की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के लिए यहाँ मिंट रेस्टोरेंट में इकट्ठे हुए हैं. इंडिया डे परेड लॉन्ग आइलैंड में जो होने वाली है, न्यूयॉर्क की ओनली परेड है जो कि अगस्त 8 संडे को दोपहर 1 बजे फ्लैग ऑफ होएगी पटेल ब्रदर्स से हिक्सविल से, और ये आसामाई मंदिर तक जाएगी. और वहाँ पे हमारे बहुत सारे कल्चरल प्रोग्राम्स हैं. आप आइए, एंजॉय कीजिए. उसके अलावा हमारे बहुत सारे स्टॉल्स हैं खाने के, ख़रीदने के. बच्चों के लिए बहुत सी राइड्स हैं और बच्चों के लिए खाने पीने का बहुत बंदोबस्त है. उसके अलावा आप $20 की रेफल टिकट ख़रीद के कार घर लेके जा सकते हैं. बाई चांस अगर कार नहीं भी आती है तो और बहुत सारे हमारे पास इनाम है. आइए, जीतिए और इनाम घर लेके जाइए. वील वेट फॉर यू ऑन August 8. हमारे साथ सारा दिन मनाइए.
Good evening. We are here today at the press conference in Long Island, and we are gathered here today for the India Independence Day celebration. This year, it is very important for us to celebrate the Independence Day of India, being the 75th year of celebration for India. And we'll be celebrating this in Hicksville. The parade would be starting from Patel Brothers, and we'll be walking down the road on Broadway and ending the parade at Asamai Temple. So please join with us on August 8th at 1 p.m. to celebrate the India's Independence Day and the 75th Independence Day of India. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Jay Sarkar. I'm the Grand Marshal for the India Independence Day. Thank you.
Hello, this is Mukesh Modi. I would like to invite everyone to come and join India Day Parade, which start on August 8th. It's one of the grand parade. It's going to start from the Patel Brothers. Please, everyone come and join. There's a lot of fun. I would like to also thank you to ITV viewers and ITV channel to participate and to support India Day Parade. Thank you.
Namaste. I'm Kamlesh Mehta, one of the founder of India Day Parade on Long Island. Today we are here in Mint for a press conference where we are going to announce all the program of July 8th. We are very happy to say that this event in New York State, this parade will be one of a kind. After the pandemic, all the restrictions we have, this parade will bypass all those things, and it will be a great event where all the community can come together and enjoy the celebration of India Day, the 75th of Indian Independence Day, with all of other community members. The best part of IDP is that they have created a platform where all the different communities from India has come together and they have playing a role of unifier. And I also want to thank Parikh World Media for their support to the IDP. Thank you to Dr. Parikh and thank you to ITV Gold. Thank you.
Delta variant has become something which is causing concern for everyone and especially for parents. When schools are opening, whether it is safe for children to go back to school, away from virtual schooling, kids are looking forward to that normalcy in their lives. But is Delta variant causing a challenge and posing a danger? Dr. Naveen Mehrotra talked about that. Here are some highlights from that conversation. And now time to say goodbye from today's Vision of Asia Voice of the Community, but also to remind you, be our friends on our Facebook page, subscribe to ITV Gold's YouTube channel and keep writing events at itvgold.com. Stay well, stay safe. Thanks for being with us. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.
We are hearing that COVID-19 cases are increasing amongst children. I'd like to know what you have seen so far about it in your clinics or in just your profession with the children, and also how much has these cases risen?
So definitely every day the number of cases are rising, and I think we've heard enough on the news wherever we're turning about the Delta variant. And it is scary to see these numbers rising day in, day out.
Yes, definitely. Let's now talk about more on this, Doctor. The American Academy of Pediatrics last week issued a recommendation saying all kids from the age of 12 to 17 or all the kids going to schools should wear a mask regardless of their vaccination status. CDC yesterday came up with the recommendation stating that school staff, teachers, and students should wear masks this coming fall. What is your comment on this? How are you looking at it?
I'm actually very, very happy that initially when the CDC had said that, you know, it's okay for people not to mask if they've been vaccinated, reverse that. And that's what the American Academy of Pediatrics has been saying for, you know, ever since that mandate came out, that it's okay to not mask, that we should keep the kids masked as much as we possibly can, because a lot of those kids are not vaccinated. So to have this mandate come out where the kids are being asked to mask, even if they're vaccinated inside of school, is, I think, one of the best things that we can do for the safety of everyone around them.
What's your comment on schools having a hybrid model? Do you think it's safe to have lots of students in one classroom? And do you recommend the 6 feet social distancing still? Two-part question.
So the social distancing piece has been up and down in terms of what is a safe distance. You know, is it 6 feet? Is it 3 feet? So what I'm saying to all of my parents that come into the practice is to make sure that your kids stay masked and that keep their distance wherever they possibly can. And if they can maintain a 6 foot distance, that's ideal. And also to make sure that they maintain good sanitation precautions to make sure that if there's anybody that they know that's sick, or if that they're being in contact with anybody like that, to make sure keep your distance as much as you possibly can.
Right. It's so important to take these precautions because there are thousands and thousands of students going back to school. Let's talk about vaccinating a little bit, Doctor. What do you have to say about the vaccination rates amongst children? Are you happy with it? And if not, where should they be right now?
So this is, I think, we've once again heard this a lot, that the vaccination rates are not where they need to be. You know, especially in kids, the vaccination rates are very, very low. And many of the parents have this fear that because of the EUA, the emergency use authorization, that the vaccine may not have been studied enough, or we don't know what the long-term side effects of the vaccine may be, What we do know immediately in hand is that the vaccines protect against severe illness, they protect against death, severe hospitalizations, and they also reduce transmission to other people that may not be vaccinated. So it is extremely critical as parents to make sure that our kids get vaccinated if they're eligible. So right now the vaccines are only eligible for kids 12 and above. So make sure you go ahead and get those kids vaccinated.
Right. Doctor, what do you have to say about children that have comorbidities such as diabetes or lung diseases or any other immunocompromising diseases? How important is it for them to get COVID-19? And could there be a side effect for these people to get the vaccine? I think that's another fear of parents.
Right. A very common question for many, many parents, especially the asthmatics, the diabetics.
Right.
All of these parents are worried. You know, my kid has an allergic reaction, has some food allergy. Can he go ahead and get the vaccine? Yes, they can go ahead and get the vaccine. There's really no evidence right now which contraindicates the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, with children who have some sort of comorbidities. So it is actually extremely critical and important for these kids to get the vaccine, because without the vaccine, the severity of the illness, if your child is diabetic or if your child is asthmatic, may be much, much more severe. So go ahead and get your child protected as quickly as possible that you can.
Are you also seeing rising number of deaths amongst children, or is that still okay?
Yes, I mean, we've seen a handful, but not to the extent of the corona pandemic in adults. We do know that the kids who are getting COVID the majority of them tend to fight it off with minor illness. There are kids that do get hospitalized, and the number of hospitalizations are increasing. And there are these kids who get COVID that can prolong the illness. Even though they do get better, they can have symptoms for months on end, which we're still trying to figure out what exactly those symptoms are. You might have heard the terminology long haulers.
Yeah.
And these are kids who are who've had COVID and may have become, well within a few days, within a week or two, but now months on after COVID has been out of their system, it may not necessarily be out of their system, and these symptoms are lingering on.
Yes, for sure. And actually, President Biden gave a statement on these long haulers saying that he's going to try to protect them with the law of disabilities, because a lot of them are actually suffering and they continue to suffer. Let's talk about vaccines more, Doctor. I'd like to know what is happening in the vaccine trials for the ages 12 to 11. We keep on hearing in the fall, late September, early October, there could be results. What's going on, and what's going to be the impact of vaccine in that age group?
So right now the vaccines are recommended for ages 12 and above. For under the 12 age group, so 5 to 11 age group, the clinical trials are going on. And, we thought that the trials would be ending very shortly, and we would have the data that the vaccines could be given or could not be given. But recently, because of some of these side effects that have been reported that may be associated with the vaccine, it has been recommended to go ahead and expand those clinical trials to get the vaccine into a larger number of kids to see if there is a higher incidence of these side effects. So the vaccine may not be, the trials may not be completed as quickly as we initially thought.